Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the archive. I'm here. We're here. Final Fantasy XIV time. Not gonna take too much. Let's go. Alright, so we are back Final Fantasy XIV for the night. We're doing Hildibrands, starting Omega. I doubt I'm gonna get all the way through Omega. I have decided that, like last expansion, we are gonna put off Stormblood's Hildibrand for a little bit until we get through Shadowbringers, just to kind of space things out a little bit better. Especially because, well, I have came to... This is kind of unrelated. I don't know why I tried to segue that. But I have come to the conclusion that I won't be playing tank for the next expansion. I know. I said I was going to play Dark Knight and then Gunbreaker. But honestly, I just don't think I'm very comfortable tanking yet. And starting off with level 70 plus content, like outside of leveling, is probably not my best bet. So I'll be going with the DPS job for Shadowbringers. I may still play tank. I may play a tank in Endwalker or even Dawn Trail. I haven't decided yet. But for now, we're gonna play a DPS role for Shadowbringers. I know, disappointing. I don't know what job I'm gonna go with yet. I'm leaning towards Reaper for thematics and all that. I know it was an Endwalker job, but you know, still, yeah. I'm trying to figure out. I haven't decided if that's what I'm going to do yet. I've got a lot of jobs to choose from. I know I need to be at least level 70 in them. So if I pick something... The other ones I'm looking at are like... I was considering Dancer. Either... maybe even Dragoon. But I'm leaning towards Reaper. I'm leaning towards thinking about Bard for Endwalker, though. Either that or Viper. Not really sure yet. But anyway, we have more Hildibrand to do, baby. The proud and the pointy-eyed. We need to speak. I've been scouring the archives for any information regarding temporal magics since we last spoke, and the results have been rather troubling, to say the least. As you may or may not be aware, ancient Allag is portrayed in the Ecridian... Ecridian? I think so. Ah, fair enough. I am enjoying this Hildibrand quest very much so. A great empire brought low by its vanity and hubris. However, there are certain apocryphal texts in which the Allagans are cast in a more sympathetic light, if not outright exalted. 'Twas in these texts I found the references to temporal magics once wielded by Allagan mages. Said mages could even be used to halt or even reverse the temporal state of a given object. If these accounts are to be believed, and if Gigi's abilities and these magics are one and the same, then it may well be possible for him to turn back the hands of time for the Grand Sirs, much as he restored the Duke's priceless face. That being said, there is no telling how this will work with regards to a living being. Consider, if you will, that the vase was filled with water when it was shattered. Even if the vessel were restored, what would become of its former contents? Would it be filled with water as before, the very same every drop returned, or would it be different water? Or would the water, once split, be forever lost? I speak of the soul, my friend, for even if one could use these magics to restore the dead to life, would they be as they were before, with all the same thoughts and memories and feelings? That's actually a valid point. It might even reset their mind back to an earlier state. The Grand Sirs are convinced that they can regain their lost youth, and mayhap they can, but the dead who have entered into Helone's halls cannot return. They cannot. Yet Gigi is nevertheless resolved to try and resurrect Archmagus Quan. Speaking of which, according to some Charlayan texts in the archives, Archmagus Quan was an accomplished scholar known for his study of ancient Allagan magics. Further evidence that Gigi's abilities are likely derived from ancient traditions, I suppose. But more importantly, I learned the location of the Archmagus's former residence. Mayhap we could find something of interest there, something which could help us persuade Gigi to change his course. I had in mind to summon Inspector Hildibrand and make the journey there together. Would you be willing to join us? Excellent. Then let's be about our business. I saw you, heretic! I beg your pardon? Are you accusing me of being a heretic? Yes, you, Inquisitor Seer. I saw you sneak into the archives and seek out the forbidden tomes. Saw the mad light in your eyes as you partook of their forbidden knowledge. Oh, for the love of... I did all of that for my investigation. Ha ha! You admit your crimes. That you did secretly, without permission, in blatant contravention of the rules. Read forbidden tomes. Then, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the sacred Sacred Tribunal of Hellodic Inquisitory Doctrine... You stupid, ignorant. Are you all so desperate to keep your goddamn jobs that you'll go around accusing all the world and his wife of heresy? Is that what we've been reduced to? To be fair, that's exactly what you were doing, like, really recently, so I don't think you have any right to talk there, buddy. I'm sick and tired of looking for heretics in every bloody shadow, of trying to guess the secret sins of everyone I meet. Is stupid and pointless, and we're better than that, damn it! We're better than that! If you will not surrender yourself, then I will have no choice but to inform my superiors. Well, that all came tumbling out, didn't it? I suppose there's no point in trying to convince myself that I have no personal investment in this matter, or that I still have a professional one. Somewhere along the way, I stopped looking for the guilty and started looking for the truth, perhaps, and a way to help those in need. But there's no place for people like that in the Inquisition, is there? And it's only a matter of time before that stuttering fool comes back with an armed guard. Let us depart for Idleshire at once. We need to find the inspector. Now, at least you're, like, finally realizing the important bits, huh? Alright. Idleshire. Alright. We don't have too much left in this side quest chain. As I said, I'm gonna not do Stormbloods quite yet. We might, like, put aside some time for it, like, just randomly one day. If I can only do, like, a short stream or something, we might set it aside for that. But I wanted to at least finish this up first. I came to that conclusion after I started it. So no reason to just stop immediately on the quest we're already on, huh? Twould seem we arrived too late. Inspector Hildibrand has already gone off on his own to confront the Grand Sirs. They came back briefly to trade jingly shine for supplies and whatnot, you see, and the Gobby's ear caught them trading tongue flaps about killing dragons in the Forelands. When the inspector learned about it later, he said he had to get after them right away and backtake Gigi. But he said he had a duty, not as an inspector, but as a father. Bugger that. He's got no obligations to a bloody mammoth, especially one that chose to leave of its own free will, as I recall. I swear, I turn my back on the boy for one bleeding second, and he loses his goddamned mind. I'm afraid he might try to do something reckless. Don't you think we should try to find him and offer him a hand offer hand lending. I'm rather more concerned about what will happen if the Grand Sirs attack, or worse, kill any of Fresvelger's brood. But first things first, I suppose. Would you be so kind as to assist Mistress Nashu and Julian in their search for the Inspector? I will pay a visit to Archmagus Quan's abandoned abode in the meantime. Oh, and before you think to refuse, know that you need not fear for my safety. Let us just say that our singular experiences together have inured me to the harsh realities of, well, reality. Huh. Could it be the scrawny little shart's finally found his spine? Let's start by heading to Tailfeather. I reckon the Inspector probably went there to ask after the Grand Sirs, so if we do the same, we're sure to catch up with him eventually. Tailfeather? Right then, I say we split up and make inquiries separately. If you learn anything about the Inspector or the Grand Sirs or Gigi, come and tell me. Behind the house. The Ashgardians with a mammoth? They were here, proclaiming to all and sundry that they were going to slay the greatest dragon of them all. The gods only know if the naive fools were serious. Oh, I have a feeling they were deathly serious. 3 dragon slayers and a mammoth, eh? I'd call you a mummer if I hadn't seen them come through earlier, boasting about how they were off to kill the biggest one yet. Oh, those daft sods. They were for Annex Shrine. Not quite sure what their intentions were, but they were awfully confident, that much I recall. Oh, that's not good. That's probably very bad, actually. Last thing we need is them to attack, like, Vidofnir or something crazy. Not that I imagine, after a hard, long-fought victory, that our entirety of peace would be spoiled with the dragons just because a couple idiots decided to take matters into their own hands, but still. Hi, Nashu. Oh, I see. So the Grand Sirs were headed for Annex Shrine. And my dear boy wasn't far behind them either. What are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go! I can only imagine this ends. I mean, it's not going to end poorly. I know how Hildibrand goes. It's going to end up poorly probably for Hildibrand. But I'm sure everything will be fine. The poor, unfortunate soul who bears a striking resemblance to Orland is quite firmly embedded in the earth. Would you look at that? The inspector sure gave him what for. That may be, but where'd the other two get to? Not to mention the mammoth. Why don't we pull him out and ask? Though, having said that, it looks easier said than done. Oh, how silly of me. I'm sure you've got more than enough strength to yank him free, right? Oh, hi, Hildebrand. Well, I'll be. He's wearing some sort of magic mask that makes him look just like the inspector. Just like that man of 1,000 faces back in Ulda. No, that's Hildebrand, all right. No, there's no fool in a mother's eyes. I say, what trouble has my beloved son gotten himself into this time? Why, hello there, Lord Godbert and Inspector Sear. How'd you two end up traveling together? Blind fortune, you might say. I was too far from Tailfeather when night began to fall, but fortunately Lord Godbert chanced to find me wandering in the wilderness. Lord Edmund told me all about this recent trouble with the Grand Sirs, as well as Hildy's investigation, and a father cannot help but take an interest in his son's affairs, can't he? As for me, I was quite eager to share with you my latest findings, namely Archmagus Quan's research notes. I haven't slept like that since I was buried in the Lich Yard. Well, well, I must confess no small measure of embarrassment to be found in such a state, having been so unceremoniously disposed of by the Grand Sirs. But ignominy notwithstanding, I am most grateful for your succor and pleasantly surprised to be reunited with you all. This wouldn't have happened had you just waited for us instead of... Wait, why in the hells are you still wearing that rubbish? An impenetrable disguise is essential when consorting with the criminal elements. Alas, 'twould seem the Grand Sirs have grown more perceptive in their newfound youth. Wait, do you mean they've already regained their youth? What about Gigi? Did you see him? Was he behaving strangely? Now that you mention it, his warm, soulful eyes were rather more pointy than I remember. By the Fury, not pointy. According to the Archmagus Quan's notes, that's a sign Gigi's using too much magic. If he carries on like this, his ether will be expended and he'll end up not more than an empty husk. This is terrible news. We have to catch up to the Grand Sirs at once. Do you know where they were headed? All I heard is that they were keen to slay dragons. They were bound for the Churning Mists, a place called Zenith, to kill a great worm named Nidhogg. Oh yeah, restored their minds back to their youth too, didn't they? Really? All that happened, huh? I meant the other one, Fresvelgar. Fresvelgar? Fury, take me. What could they possibly hope to achieve? I, Hildibrands, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby ask you all to aid me in rescuing my son and putting a stop to the Grand Sir's machinations. You know, there really is no need for all that. We came because we wanted to help. I, Nashu, faithful assistant, maker of explosives extraordinaire, do hereby present you this fresh change of clothing. Capital! I knew I could count on you, Nashu. I shall change en route. Come with my friends to Zenith and to Gigi. Zenith. And it's actually kind of weird because on my alt, where I'm going through the story with a friend, we just finished up meeting with Freshfelger. In Heavensward, actually. Well, I say just, but that was the most recent story thing we've done. We haven't, it's been like 5 days since we progressed. Make ready, my friends. The final battle with the Grand Sirs is at hand. 'Twould seem my wounds are more serious than I thought. I fear I am in no condition to confront our foes. There is but one thing that could restore me to my former indomitable self. Don't you worry, got some salamander oil right here. Shall Mummy give her baby boy a massage? Oh, my dearest Mummy, Mother dearest, I would not impose upon you, not when my ever-loyal associate, the Warrior of Light, stands ready to administer my muscles. Don't tell me you're embarrassed. Let Mummy take care of little Hildy's hurts. My dear wife, I know you mean well, but let the Warrior of Light handle it. There is a bond which transcends time and space and personal boundaries. That's the way of it. I'm counting on you. Why am I the one doing this again? Let us brook no further delay. Come, my friend, coat my body in oil, as you have done many a time before. Oh, how it soothes my aches and pains. Quickly now, knead it into my flesh. Knead as you have never kneaded before. Such ferocious kneading. I applaud your enthusiasm, but mayhap I urged you to excessive force. Nay, you were in the right. Already the gentle warmth begins to spread throughout my body. The fires of righteousness burn anew in my breast. Hold, my son. Though your passion is renewed, you may yet be spurred to greater feats of Mandervillian strength. Derived from the purest essence of salamanders, the ancient legacy of House Manderville Salamanderville. To you, my beloved son, now become a proud father, I bequeath this most sacred of oils. Salamanderville? Could it be that the legends were true? Your muscles shall shine with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. No mortal man will have the power to do you harm. Verily it is so, for by its grace did I once weather the slings and arrows of a bandit horde, and bring my hammer of justice to bear upon their wicked heads. The time has come. Take this oil and help Hildy become the Manderville man he was meant to be. Sure. I am ready for my final oiling. Salamanderville. Okay. Oh, the Salamanderville! How it flows into every nook and cranny! Quickly now, lay your hands upon me. Massage me with all your might. That's the spirit! I can feel it building and rising! Rising! Such passion, such fervor! I am the inferno unbound, and the tempest unleashed, but I have not yet begun to pose. I am a Manderville man! That Salamanderville is... My word, I've never felt so alive. Such vibrant colors, such intense sounds, such fragrant smells. Mother, father, 'twas your oils, and yet your strong yet tender fingers which opened my eyes to the glory of creation. I am a gentleman inspector reborn. Onward to zenith. No matter the laws of nature they pervert or the limits they break, the Grand Sirs can do naught to stop me. That was something. The squad rocking up. Oh, that's I will admit, a great improvement. Grand Sirs, I have come for my son. Oh, must we do this now? We have a dragon to slay. There's no need for any of this. The war is over. But not for long. The worm's death will give a new rise to a new era of fire and blood, and we, having consumed his eyes, will use our new powers to win untold glory on the battlefield. Our legends will echo in eternity. You would doom countless innocents for glory. No, I won't allow it. Over my dead body. Far be it from us to deny you, then. This is the end for you. The ultimate end. Hopefully that Salamanderville does its job. Hildibrands kind of getting a shit rocked. Granted, this is Hildibrand we're talking about. Man's basically immortal. Damn, you good? Have faith, my love. He is our son. That was some serious damage you just took. The fact that you can stand. Whew. Gigi, my beautiful boy, pray do not look at me with such pointy eyes. Let Papa Hildy take you home to our gazebo. Stop calling me that. My name is Vivi. Vivi. I remember everything. My powers, my purpose, my grandpapa Quan. I made them young again, but it's not enough. I need more. More. I need the worm's eyes, and then I can finally bring him back. I'm sorry, Gigi, but no, you cannot. Grandpapa Quan is gone. He's right, Gigi. Mayhap you could restore his corporeal form and breathe life into it, but his soul, what made him your grandpapa, is forever beyond your reach. That's not true. I can restore anything to its ideal form, to the way it should be. Even Grandpapa Quan, even you, Papa Hildy. Please, Gigi, you have to stop. If you keep using your power, you'll die. Yeah, I don't think it's working. Also, you really need to understand. I don't understand. Your clothes are still dirty and tattered. As they should be, Gigi. For my every waking moment is as the gods intended. Every day I live life to the fullest. Every day I enjoy grand adventures. I found your grandpapa's research notes. What he gave you wasn't the power to make things the way they were. He gave you the power to change the world, to make things the way you yourself believed they should be. That's why your magics had no effect on the inspector, because you know in your heart that this battered and bruised form of his, in its own way, right. My thoughts exactly, Inquisitor Seer, and it is for this self-same reason that you were unable to make Grandmaster Quan younger. In your heart, you knew exactly there was naught that needed to be changed. Your beloved grandpapa was exactly what he should be. Your every day was to be treasured and worthy of celebration. Then what about the Grand Sirs? Why was I able to make them young again? All you truly knew of them were the stories they told. Wondrous tales of daring Dubai heroes in the prime of their lives. It's no wonder you were able to envision them as such. That's all they ever talked about when they were young and free and full of fire. At first, Archmagus Quan didn't understand the true nature of your abilities. He struggled to deduce why you could not make him younger as he originally intended. Eventually, he realized that your fond memories of him were preventing you from conceiving him as anything but an elderly creator, and that the only way to achieve his goal would be to take them from you. But you were all he had left in the world. No longer a mere mammoth, but a friend, family, his only family, his grandson. He couldn't bear to lose you, so he renounced his quest for immortality. But I still lost my memories in the end. He was afraid of leaving you. Oh, yeah, I missed that dialogue. Shit. But despite his best efforts, something remained. Something stronger and more powerful and more resilient than anything Archmagus Quan ever dared dream. You were never broken, Gigi. You were never abandoned. All he wanted was to set you free. Free? Free to do what? Whatever you like, Gigi. Don't you see? That was his final gift to you. A new life. A new story, all your own. This has been very, very touching, but we're not getting any younger. Well, you aren't at any rate. We have suffered your meddling long enough. I had intended to use this trap to kill the worm, but since you are so perfectly positioned... Oh, shit. I have a feeling I know how this is going to end. I am Vivi, grandson of Archmagus Quan and Gigi, son of Hildibrands Helidor Maximilian Manderville. Restored perfectly. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. Honestly, you could have kept it had you not tried to, like, possibly doom a bunch of people. It's entirely your fault. Holy shit. It was actually really touching. Surprisingly touching for a Hildibrand story. Also, you good, Juliana? You've been like that for a bit now. It's like it never happened. With the last of his strength, he turned back the hands of time. Not just for the pillars, but for us all. He made us all as we once were, as we were meant to be. After all that gallivanting, and I get bugger all! What about my misspent youth? I was not meant to be this bloody old. Such a fine day. Never have I squatted with such perfect form. I may have well reached my physical peak. Holy shit, that's some fucking energy, dude. The fact that those squats are strong enough to create dust clouds. What rot. At your age, you daft sod, you look foolish. You should be grateful. Gigi saw what you had become and gave you a second chance. That was our second chance. To relive our glory days. It was all rather silly, though, wasn't it? Maybe Quan had the right of it. Maybe it's not so bad growing old. I was a coward when I was young. But now that I'm old, I'm not afraid to say things like, I love you, Doris. Blind, bloody fool, Conspart. Juliana's still very pissed. I say, am I dead again? Quite alive, Inspector, along with everyone else, thanks to Gigi. The Grand Sirs are also in our custody. Ha ha ha! That's my boy! Where is the little tyke, anyway? Gigi embarked on a grand new adventure. He's no longer with us. I see. If that's what he wanted, then I could not be happier for him. I am sure Archmagus Quan would feel the same way. What do we do now, Inspector? Is it not obvious, Nashu? The wide, wide world beckons to us with the promise of mystery and wonder. We shall resume our never-ending quest for cases perplexing and profound. And perhaps one day we shall meet young Gigi again. Holy shit, thank you for the bits, Arwing. Oh, that's a big 269 of them. We appreciate the support here, as per always. Expect this to be a lot less profound. A lot more, like, slapstick funny moment. But I guess we have to take things seriously every once in a while, huh, Hildebrand? Whew. I hate to admit it, but this whole mess got me thinking that maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I really did have a grandson. You just wanted to see the funny number. Fair enough. Can't fault you for that. You did right by Gigi, Hildy. Your father and I can see that. We're proud of the man you've become. And I am proud of you too, Mother, for finally coming to terms with the ephemeral nature of physical beauty and allowing yourself to age gracefully. Oh, you are not. You are gonna get the shit beat out of you, buddy. Gracefully, was it? I fear we may have had a failure to communicate. That has some fucking spin on it. Holy shit. There he goes again. Wait for me, Inspector. Wait. Hark! What is that curious light I spy in the far eastern skies? And this oh so familiar scent which fills my nostrils. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the wronged want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there, till we meet again! See you in Stormblood at some point later, buddy. I say, you do know that so long as the core remains intact, little Gigi is not actually dead. That's right. Dry your tears, boy. There's no need for all this moping about. He's fallen into a dormant state because he used up all his ether. His core will gradually recharge as it draws upon the ambient ether, and in time he will awaken from his torpor. I shall tend to the child for now. All's well that ends well, I suppose. As for these three, I should be glad to take them back to Ishgard in your stead. A most generous offer, my lord, but hardly necessary. After all, 'tis my duty to bring them to justice. Oh, yes, it was my duty. After everything I said to that young Inquisitor, I can't go back to Ishgard. They'll toss me in a jail and throw away the key if they don't kill me outright. So go to Idleshire and live in Hildy's gazebo. Someone ought to look after it while he's away, no? That doesn't sound all that bad, actually. Full glad am I to accept your offer. that frying pan gonna shrink anytime soon, or is it just stuck like that for a while, huh? Suppose there's nothing for it but to wait until he comes back down. 'Twas a most graceful strike, my love. You haven't lost your touch. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I did mean to take a screenshot. I forgot about fucking light screen making me, or light shot making my screenshots bring up a second window. Knocking out all sound and shit. I suppose there's nothing for it but to leave the Grand Sirs to Lord Godbert, and for me to see and to Inspector Hildibrands' gazebo. I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. If you find yourself in Idleshire, come see me. There are a few arrangements that need to be made, but I can't imagine that it'll take long for me to settle in. Thank you, my friend. Until we meet again. Well, it's gonna be like all of 30 seconds here, because I'm just gonna immediately teleport to Idleshire to finish this quest. So we can start Omega. Which is going to probably be a lot of dialogue and a lot of waiting for mission and a lot of waiting for raid queue. But I'm sure I can find things to do in the interim. If I'm gonna end up playing Reaper or something through through Shadowbringers, I might as well like get to a training dummy and put some practice into my abilities. Looking back on the course I've run, it's not hard to think of the man I was and feel ashamed. Before I took on this case, I had only left the capital a handful of times. The rubbish I believed, the facts I considered unassailable. Fury take me, what a fool I was. If I hadn't met you and the Inspector and Gigi, I would have never realized how much I would have come to hate my job. Nor would I have discovered how much more satisfying it is to seek out the truth. The whole truth. One might say that getting labeled a heretic and having to flee Ishgard is the best thing that could have happened to me. After all, I am now free to start a new life here in Idleshire as a consulting inspector. But enough of that. There is someone I'd like you to meet. Little Gigi. Lord Godbert made some modifications, as you can see. His smaller size should allow him to absorb ether more effectively over time. We thought that if he were to travel with you and share in your grand adventures, that maybe it would hasten his reawakening. Of course. He's just gonna be my permanent minion from now on. Thank you, my friend. I do hope our paths cross again someday. May the Fury bless you and keep you. A GG VV. I liked having the Warrior of Light minion because it could be a black mage, and black mage was kind of my primary job and not playing it through these expansions. Are we really getting a credit sequence in Hildibrand? Okay, fine. Enjoying the good life, huh? Ah, I love Hildibrand. Hildibrand will return? Of course he will. He always does. That is what you are. Sort. Hello, Gigi. Minion guide. Sorry, Wind Up Edda, but... where is he? Where is my boy? There he is. Little Gigi. Oh, little adorable Gigi. Alright. Okay. Rhalgr's Reach is where we're going next. So we're going to Girabania. Rhalgr's Reach. The Hunt for Omega. Damn. If I knew this quest was going to be called The Hunt for Omega, I could have put that in the stream instead of The Search for Omega. You know what? I'm changing it. I can't help it. I have to change it. I just can't. I can't leave it like that. The Hunt. Save. It didn't update on Twitch yet. Oh, there it goes. And YouTube. Edit. The Hunt for Omega. Sure, is this a little silly? But yes. But I can't help myself. I can't leave it be like that. Thank the gods you're here. We need your help. In case you haven't heard, we've set up operations in Rhalgr's Ridge while we look for Omega. Since it's been decidedly slow going, I'm sorry to say, and we still haven't seen the blasted thing since it disappeared during the battle with Shinryu, which is not to say we haven't made any progress. We now know that Shinryu ended up in the Imperial's hands and that it was shackled with some very distinctive looking bindings when they found it. Obviously, you know what could have done something like that, and the fact that those restraints were still functioning suggests it didn't shut down when the chief instructed it to either. Anyway, we're getting close to identifying Omega's whereabouts when we encountered what you might call a problem. Mayhap it would be best if you came to the workshop and saw for yourself. An unwanted truth. Oh, the fractal continue? Oh, okay, whatever. I don't even know what that is. Surprised? So were we. He's been brought in as a consultant, believe it or not. How many times do I have to tell you? You will pay no part in this investigation. Your motives were dubious from the first, and nothing you have done since has served to make them any clearer. Out of necessity, I agreed to take part in Omega's activation, but that will be the extent of our cooperation. Passing judgment without due consideration, openly disparaging colleagues, not very chiefly of you, Chief. I'll have you know I'm a sensitive new recruit who thrives on encouragement. Then I'll trust you thrive elsewhere while I encourage you to piss off. I will not have him on our roster, Jesse. Never mind anywhere near our work. His employment is to be terminated effective immediately. That thing is, Chief, we've already paid him in full, and it wasn't exactly a pittance either. 4/5 of what you get was the agreement. Look, whatever disagreements you might have had in the past, the fact is we could do with his expertise now. Let him earn his keep at the very least. I don't believe this. You claim my wholly justified ventures represent an unsustainable risk to the ironworks, and then pay him a sultan's ransom in advance? Him? Give me strength. This has been the way of it for a while now, on account of which we've had to put the investigation on hold. Let's investigate by ourselves. I don't really want to stand around and wait for you all to argue. As much as I admire your enthusiasm, hero, you will not get very far without some brains to complement your admirable brawn. Happily, I am blessed with a surfeit of the former. From this moment forth, you will be my chaperone. With the realm's savior watching my every move, I couldn't possibly make any mischief, which should surely serve to allay my employer's concerns. Forgive me, Evelyn. It was not my intent to embroil you in this mess. I didn't even know you were here. Seeing as you are, though, I cannot deny that I would be glad to have you on board. The fact is, we're no closer to understanding the true extent of Omega's powers, and even if it was damaged during the encounter with Shinryu, it seems highly doubtful that we will be able to disable it unaided. We have got as far as identifying its likely resting place, but I, for one, would feel a lot more confident about surveying the area with you around to deal with any unexpected surprises. Might I persuade you to lend us a hand once more, old friend? Of course. Destroying big, powerful things is what I do best. Then it's settled. Chief, we have a problem. The ether concentration levels at the yawn are soaring. Our readings doubled from one moment to the next, and by the time we went to check them, they doubled again. What? But that could only mean... Evacuate the site. I shall handle this matter personally. Biggs, Wedge, I need you with me at the yawn, to the south of here. That's where I believe Omega came to rest. Jesse, hold the fort while I'm gone, and if possible, continue surveillance from a safe distance. Alright, Chief. Watch yourself out there. Am I to stay and mind the shop too? Oh no, I'm not letting you out of my sight. Before you fill the room with maniacal laughter, I want you to remember something. When you collected your inexplicably lavish fee, the Ironworks creed became your creed. That's freedom through technology, in case you've forgotten, not supremacy through elegant ingenuity. Breach this contract, and I will have my pounds of flesh. I can't say I blame him for being angry. Although, to be fair, I think... When was the last time we really got a glimpse of Nero? Was it Crystal Tower, or was it sooner than that? I don't remember. But regardless, I mean, to be fair, his expertise could be helpful, even if I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Plus, I don't really think he's necessarily, like... I think he's more after his own ends than, like, working for Garlemald or something. Would you look at that? Crikey! It's just a plain old hole. It was just a plain old hole before. I got a bad feeling about this. Wow, that's... What is that? It looks like goo. It just looks like a big pit of purple goo. What in the seven hells is going on here? A veritable sea of condensed ether. Oh, Precious has been busy. What villainy is this? No, Midgard Somer? What the fuck are you doing here? I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, hi. In sweet slumber I have lain since mine offspring's war with man did end. Yet I could not choose but to stir at this abhorrent stench. Have care, mortal, for within this great hollow lieth Omega. Long have we known one another. Our history spanneth aeons and stars. Oh, gods! What's happening? Why is there a weird chocobo thing, and what is that chasing it? Where did you come from? I mean, we know you came from inside the condensed ether pool, but how? Chief, get out of there! You're not dead. Apparently not. Apparently not. It passed straight through me, as if it were some sort of illusion. Oh, I clicked off screen. "'Tis one of Omega's creations. Omega is a weapon wrought in a place beyond the reach of thy kind, capable of weaving ether into life. The serpent is yet unfinished, but doubt not that it will become a corporeal threat ere long." Well, whatever it is, it's gone. While this peculiar thing remains. Quack. If it looks like a chocobo, and quails like a chocobo, I'm thinking it's probably a chocobo. But how the fuck did it get in there, and how did it fly all the way out like that? Quack? The way it quails isn't unlike a chocobo, but looks more like a stuffed doll to me. It's definitely a chocobo. Trust me on this. The ones we Lalafels ride are all about this size, aren't they? Suppose. Alright. Let's go with chocobo for now. Thy mistress's blessing extendeth not unto this creature's soul, then. Very well. As this matter concerneth Omega, I shall speak with it in thy stead. Aren't you gonna introduce us to your knowledgeable little dragon friend? Oh yeah, that's just Midgard Sommer, father of all dragons. Not really a big deal. Wait, the Midgard Sommer? The one who fought and fell at the Battle of Silvertear Skies? And here I was, content to be traveling in the company of just one legend. Without wishing to offend you, hero, the father of dragons does have something you do not, that being relevant knowledge. There is much we could learn from him. Little and less is known about Omega's origin. It first appeared in the records dating back to the Third Astral Era, before the Allegan Empire reached its zenith, and said records had but one thing to say: Omega activation successful. In the centuries that followed, the Allegans enjoyed rapid technological development, but there was nary a further mention of Omega until its capture of Bahamut. Its existence is a mystery among mysteries, a tale among tales. It was always assumed that the Allegans built it, and I have no reason to believe otherwise. But now Midgard Sommer tells us that it's not even of our world. Just so. It haileth from another star. More than that I will not say. I have spoken with this being. It telleth of a strange plane beyond this hollow, wherein it did reside from the moment of its creation. For reasons unknown, it was ordered to fight, yet being weak, it chose flight instead, and thus crossed over unto this world. Ordered to fight? By Omega? Why in the seven hells would it do that? To put its creations to the proof. If you would no more, go forth and look upon the truth with your own eyes. Wait, you're saying we should jump in? You have naught to fear from the fall. The hollow hath become a portal into Omega's domain. Once there, this being shall guide you. Servant of Hydaelyn, fate bindeth me to Omega. If it be thine intent to pursue it, I shall lend thee my strength. I didn't really expect Midgard Sommer to show up again after Heaven's Word. So, you really can show us around inside the hole, can you? Quack, quack. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna not do it. Quack. Are we seriously thinking about going for a dip in that pink muck? I'm not too keen on this jumping idea. There are rocks that can swim better than me. This day just keeps getting better and better. Well, I doubt any of us imagined things would come to this, but the father of dragons has given us his assurance. Let us take our investigation into the yawn. I have already apprised Jessie of our intent and instructed her to have our engineers on standby. Since we have no way of knowing what awaits us in there, I need you to be ready for anything. Are you? Of course I am. I'm always ready. Let us begin. We're gonna jump into the pit of goo, huh? Well, I suppose we've done dumber. Probably. No immediate example comes to mind, but I know we've done stupider things. What is this place? And what's wrong with us? I can see straight through me. Welcome home, Alpha. Welcome, mortals. I am Omega, and I have awaited your coming. I communicate with you now via one of my monitors. You stand in the rift between dimensions, where a vital experiment is presently in progress. Your participation is appreciated. Please indicate your consent. Experiment? If you want our participation, you'll have to tell us a little more than that. We're disappearing! Non-participating entities will be summarily erased. Please indicate your consent. Seems we can't even exist here without Omega's leave. I think it's fairly clear what we have to do, don't you? Alright, we consent. Bring it on. I'll kick your ass one way or the other. Thank you for your cooperation. You are provisionally assigned to the Alpha Group. The fuck am I looking at? Holy shit, what the fuck is this? Interdimensional rift. Looks like some manor tower. Or egg. The aim of the experiment is to determine the mightiest being in creation. To that end, 89 candidates have been selected and recreated. They are grouped by dimension, matched by strength, and pitted against one another. To that which you identify as a chocobo is Subject Alpha, and you have been assigned to its group. This assignation is tentative, however, pending an assessment of your fitness to serve as fully fledged test subjects. Your combat capabilities will be evaluated shortly. Combat capabilities? You mean you want us to fight? Affirmative. A course shall be constructed for this purpose, through which you must attempt to fight your way. Your suitability will be confirmed upon reaching the Deltascape test world beyond. Please note, however, that only entities with existential authorization may interact with objects within the rift. Of your number, only Alpha has this at present. Before you engage in combat, said authorization must be temporarily transferred to you. Huh. An invitation from Omega itself. Not even I could have foreseen this. We are accepting it, of course. It's preferable to the summary erasure, as I'm sure you'll agree. I got this. Alpha, was it? My colleagues and I are minded to participate in Omega's experiment. Will you transfer your authorization to us? Existential authorization transferred. Subjects ready to engage. Please begin at your own convenience and proceed as directed. This is fucking awesome. Holy shit. So, where do we go exactly? I like how we're all working together for this, though. This is neat. Where the fuck did you get that? Easy. Really wasn't putting up much of a fight. Oh, another one? Not really going to be able to do a lot of behind attacks while I am in this instance, but that's normal for instances. Yeah. So how does this... So, yeah, that would do it. This is all one big map, huh? Oh, wow. Okay. This is a bit larger than I first expected. Alright, let's do this. E, Doton. Q. Easy peasy. Alright, what's next? No, 2 monitors. I just wasted a Mudra. That sucks. Oh well. T, mouse 4. R, Q, E for Doton, Trick. Q. Okay, not too bad. Well, that's an egg. Is that the Deltascape, I guess? That's our goal, the Deltascape, if I'm not mistaken. What do you think is waiting for us in there? Omega said that it groups subjects by dimension. If the creatures we fought on the way here were merely intended to separate the wheat from the chaff, it would seem certain that far greater challenges await in these egg-like objects. Our fellow test subjects, more like. But I am not certain what to make of that castle. Could it be somehow connected to the subjects? Alpha, but hold on a moment. Shouldn't either one or the other of us be translucent? Subjects confirmed to have arrived at the Deltascape. Analysis complete. Congratulations, you are approved for participation. Your strength places you in the self-same tier as Alpha, the feeblest and farthest removed from myself. Nonetheless, you are now fully fledged test subjects. Welcome, weakest of challengers. As corporeal life forms, you need not undergo development within the test world. Instead, you may use this space freely. Not quite what I would have chosen, but one must make do. Speaking of which, what is it we are supposed to do exactly? You are to enter the Deltascape and defeat all test subjects within. Please note, however, that strength in numbers will not be acknowledged. There is a strict limit to how many entities can participate in combat. Only a small party may have existential authorization transferred from Alpha. Good luck. So the eggs do contain our fellow test subjects, just as I predicted, eh, Garland? Before we turn our thoughts to the Deltascape, I suggest we set up a base of operations here. I was thinking about asking the crew to throw some supplies in after us, but only the gods know if they'd make it here in one piece. You can bet they wouldn't be the right way up if they did, though. Whew, all that jumping and fading and fighting really took it out of me. What I need now is a hot steaming cup of tea, and nothing makes a better tea brew than the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boilmaster, coming soon to a Garland Ironworks approved vendor near you. Sorry, Jesse made me do it. Quite impressive for an improvised arrangement, even if... Now then, let us see what we can learn from our host's many monitors. Quack? It's somewhat cobbled together, but this should suffice as a base of operations. Take heart, old friend. Though every step we take seems to raise more questions, we will wade through this mire of mysteries eventually. Of that, I have no doubt. Right then, what to do next? We know that Omega is conducting tests to determine the strongest speed, but we do not know its ultimate purpose, nor even its exact whereabouts. Plainly, however, it is within Omega's power to curtail or stay here whenever it chooses. Accordingly, we have little choice but to proceed as bidden and defeat the test subjects waiting for us in the Deltascape. Well, Alpha certainly seems keen, though it might be best if you left the fighting to others, little one. That is, of course, assuming others are willing. What say you, old friend? This promises to be a most entertaining foray, and I would not dream of missing any part of it. You may rely on me to provide you with remote support. With commendable foresight, I took the liberty of borrowing the various monitors that were lying about, and shall extract all the information I can from them. 'Tis a pity none of us speaks Chocobo. As I recall, though, we are supposed to have Alpha transfer his authorization to us prior to engaging in combat. In which case, you'll need him to accompany you into the Deltascape. See to your preparations and proceed whenever you're ready. Quack, quack! Deltascape v1.0. Hello, Raids. Stormblood. Deltascape 1.0. It's gonna be a second here. I can leave at any time, I'm assuming. So if I were to exit right now, I assume there's going to be a re-entry, like, area thing. A gate? Yeah, Ironworks hand. I assume you lead me back in? Nope, not quite yet. for now, we have a map to fill out. Yeah, I know I can't switch jobs because it won't let me join the queue if I'm not queued up exactly how I was when I dropped. I mean, I could just switch back. Yeah, we'll finish covering this map, and then I'll experiment a bit with, what's it called? With Reaper at a training dummy, which should be easy enough to find. I don't think I can get over there that way. That's just mountain. I just have to hope none of these queues are going to be too ridiculously long. Can't imagine they should be, but I've known to get pretty unlucky with queues on stream. Alright, and I missed that section. Oh, it's just Ralger's. I mean, that looks so obvious of a map section that I can fill out, but I don't know what's over there. Because it's the only little... I'll go over and check. There should definitely be training dummies in Ralger's reach. What's the gear level requirement for this? 295? Oh wow, I am almost 100 over that. I'm not going that way. What the fuck am I doing? I saw the blue quest down there and was like, my brain autopiloted. Like, oh, that's where I need to go. Because obviously that's a blue quest. And it's got the arrow saying that that's where I'm going. But obviously not. I was already over there. So is this an actual spot of the map that I can actually discover, or is this... It is. There's nothing fucking over here. What is the point of this being its own little section of map? Unless there's like a cave down here you could enter? I don't see one. I don't know. Although I guess it could be over here too. Have I discovered everything on this map? Obviously yes. Do we have training dummies on this map? We definitely should. There are some, but they're using them, so not really usable by me. Not, I'm pretty sure I know where I can find some. There's some in Thanalan, just outside one of the gates of Ul'dah. I just don't remember exactly which gate it was. Of course, there was some... Oh, there was some in Idleshire, wasn't there, when I was down there earlier? Was it Idleshire, or was it... I think it was Idleshire. Yeah, because I'm not seeing any over here. Oh, hey, Delta Skate. I got lucky. Not too bad of a queue time. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. Alright, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Oh, I see. I'm gonna get... Oh, I didn't get hit by that. Up. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm gonna be honest. Although I wasn't the only one to get a Vuln stack, so I'll take that. All right. Nobody died, so I'll count that as a plus. Whew. Goodbye and good riddance. Who's the weakest now? Loot, greed. I don't think I need any of this stuff, but I'll greed it. Alright, Deltascape 1 done. What's next? Well done. Remember. Well done, my friend. We were lucky enough to witness every moment of your struggle via the Deltascape's various surveillance devices. I dare say we had a better view than you did. Gaining control over them was the extent of our accomplishments for this outing, though I suppose we did also learn of your adversary's name. Rest assured, however, that there will be plenty more of such outings. Preliminary analysis suggests that there are 4 combatants in Deltascape all told, including your friend Alta Reut, which means you will be required to win 3 further bouts, with Deltas 2 through 4 in this test world alone. Needless to say, there are plenty more such worlds in this rift, holding the remaining 85 subjects between them. Plainly, our host has gone to no small amount of trouble. Question why it is so plainly obsessed with determining the strongest being is another question. Omega seeketh to improve itself, to evolve. This was ever its primary directive. Through contending with mighty foes, it groweth stronger. Having vanquished the vile simulacrum you call Shinryu, a greater adversary was needed. In the absence of such a being, it had but to create one. So in the name of self-improvement, it wants to make a new playmate, and it chose to undertake the task here to avoid outside interference, yes? In part. The making of life is not Omega's primary function. It bringeth complex beings into corporeal realm only at great cost to itself. As such, it employeth this plane to test unfinished works, that it might determine a single entity worthy of creation. If I understand you correctly, the moment Omega's grand experiment is complete, it will give birth to a creature even mightier than Shinryu and then proceed to fight it. Gods help us all if a battle of that scale should come to pass. The powers unleashed would be enough to bring about another calamity. Assuming the dragon has the right of it, all the test subjects must needs be works in progress. Save for ourselves, of course. But how then do we explain Alpha? As I recalled, it manifested corporeally outside the rift. Then again, it is hardly the most complex of creatures. Mayhap it was finished by accident. Don't you make fun of Alpha. He's a good boy, and if it hadn't been for him, we would have all been erased. He might not be strong, but he's brave and reliable and adorable. Changing the subject for a moment, Chief. After you lost track of Omega, you said you re-engaged its stasis system, right? Meaning something somewhere isn't working like it should. I only ask because me and Wedge have done pretty much all we can here, and we're wondering if it might be worth going to Cartnode to look into it. That would be great help. Nero and I can handle things at this end. We'll be off then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, huh? And you be a good boy, Alpha. Do as you're told, and look after the warrior light for me. We must pray that Biggs and Wedge are able to repair the stasis system. If they can't, we'll have little choice but to see Omega's experiment all the way to its bitter conclusion. A tall order, I concede, and one that would require you to prove yourself in the mightiest being in creation. Well, we must hope for the best and plan for the worst, which in this case means pressing on with the tests. You ready for the next foray? One moment, Chief. My analysis is yet incomplete, but it would seem Subject Delta 2 is capable of manipulating gravity. How fortunate, then, that I recently chanced to assemble something which might mitigate its effects. An anti-gravity gimbal. May it serve you well. Deltascape version 2. Alright, I can't even teleport in here. Let's see. Map. Thanalan. I forget which one it was. I want to say it's Blackbrush. No, it's not Blackbrush. I think it's Drybone. I'm gonna be real mad at myself if it was actually Blackbrush and I just fucking went to the wrong one. It might not even be these two. It could be the last Thanalan, and I'm not the other Thanalan with a gate, but I'm not sure. It is not this map. It is definitely not that map. I don't think it's that map either. I think it's Western. And before all my teleport costs are for naught because I, you know, get queued in the moment I get there and then have to, and then return to the Deltascape and repeat a process of just eternally getting close enough to do some training and then not enough. But without enough time. Yep. Here we go. Okay, so I've done a decent amount of Reaper. The only things I haven't done with Reaper is level 60 to 70, because I've done mostly Palace of the Dead. So I didn't know all of my buttons. I know of Soul Slice, obviously, which grants this, which I guess at level 70, you've got these two. Which Granson has. Oh, flank and rear. I see. This is flank. I need to not forget to apply my damage up to myself. Oh, okay. I can only do... I see. So this gives me a... Stack count will be reduced to 1 under the effect of Soul Reaper. Okay, so I have to pick this one or this one. They're essentially the same. And they're essentially the same. One is just from rear and one is from flank, but I want to mix and match the two clearly, so I can get their enhanced versions. and then alternate between the two. So now I would do this and hit this from flank. And then I could do the same thing with this from rear. Okay. I have heard that Reaper is like one of the easier combat jobs to do. They have a pretty from what I've heard, it's a pretty standard ability set. Oh, I'm gonna need to remember to use flank and things. Oh well. I gotta break this combat. Because if I don't, I'm gonna end up being in combat when this thing pops, and... There we go. Oh, I see how this is supposed to work. So I can do this into this to gain Ninki gauge. So what I can do is if I do this to get Trick, then I do it again, I can do it for Macewi, or however the fuck that's pronounced. Which will allow me a Ninki gauge use while the damage boost is active. And then I probably just use rotation-wise, dump the rest of Mudras into lightning for a single target, and fire for multi-target. Yes, I know they all have names, but I don't fucking know the names. Alright. I think I'm warmed up. Now we just have to hope that this party queues rather quickly. I'd like to get at least like 3 or 4 of these done before 11 o'clock when I have to get off. That might be like... Holy shit, I have... Oh, those are probably the extreme versions of the trials of the primals. The non-core 3 primals, that is. Alright, how am I gonna kill time? Let's see. Hingashi. Nah, we don't care about King of the Castle. Kugane, we don't need that. Shirogane, we could go to our apartment, but I don't need to. Kugane Castle. Oh, these are... Yeah, we're looking for Othard. We haven't fully unlocked flight for any of these maps. Well, Azim Steppe is probably the easiest, since it's a big wide open space. No worrying about having to swim underwater or anything to find them. Honestly, there's a part of me that really wants to play Bard in this coming expansion. But, I mean, there's one issue with that. I'd have to get 70 levels on it. And we'd have to spend, like, fucking 8 streams probably doing nothing but job quests, given my rate of completion. So I don't think that's... so as much as I could do that, I think we'll put that off till Endwalker. Now, whether or not I'm 100% set in stone with, I don't know why I'm talking to this guy. I don't know what that was. Gascot? What is this quest? Okay. Collection. Ether Compass. I have all of the ground ones. So now I just need to go and grab all of the normal ones. Or the mission ones. Nope, not you. Any other blue quests in this area? There's one over by those guys and one up at the top here. Sheep's milk? Didn't know that was a thing until now, but okay. Also, I will finish interacting here and then do that. Alright, Delta Escape version 2. At the rate in which these queues are going, I will not complete 4, but I might complete 3. Assuming that we don't get any long cutscenes or extremely lengthy queue times. God, that thing is ugly. Oh, right. I don't have that. I'm just gonna zoom out and pay attention to the homies. Trek queued up. I have no idea what the fuck is happening. It's working, whatever it is going on, but I don't know what that is. Also, I gotta remember not to do that. Well, that's scary. But hey, at least not the tanks with Vuln 4. And the Vuln stacks are going away. Good. Ooh. Come on, trick. I think we're safe low. I will admit, this is a cool fight. I'm not super difficult or anything, but I will. It's cool that it is really cool. The the whole gravity changing thing, though. And goodbye. Giving it to the tank. And I will gladly take all the extras. I don't know what any of them do, but worst case scenario, I can put them in my chocobo saddlebag. Rousing performance made possible by my anti-gravity gimbal. Lest you wonder, you are not supposed to be able to descend on your own volition. The device worked quite as intended. It just wasn't intended for use on living Well, let's just say it wasn't exactly its intended use. At any rate, that's another mighty foe laid low, and may I say that I had every faith you would succeed. I doubt we'll be hearing from Biggs and Wedge for a while yet, so we push on here in the meantime. Reliable as ever. Without further ado, then, let us move things along. According to the analysis, your next opponent, Delta 3, is a being named Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus, you say? The Queen of Dimension Castle. What's this? You know of her. You mean you don't? Well, I suppose a blue-blooded brat such as yourself would have no interest in humble folk tales. It appears a lesson is in order. Halicarnassus is a character from an ancient fable. In the tale, she is one of the chief antagonists, and as such, things aren't or want to unfold. She meets her end at the hands of the heroes, incurably valiant Luyus, not unlike our adventurer friend here. Literary historians have speculated that the tale could be loosely based on events which took place in the Fourth Astral Era, but little remains of that age, and there is no way to verify the claim. Indeed, most now assume the story to be a work of pure fiction. You mean to tell me that Omega is populating its grand experiment with fictional characters? 'Twould seem your misunderstanding is yet lacking. Scant grasp have I that of which men know and know not. Mark me, then. Omega hath no soul, no mind's eye in which to envision a rival. To bring forth new life, it must needs draw upon that which hath already been, its very creation, every creation being another's conception. This limitation is concealed by the breadth of its experience. It possesseth the means to retain the knowledge of entire eras, and not only of this reflection, yet it perceiveth not this knowledge as we do. Fact, fiction, the distinction holdeth no meaning for Omega. All is equal in its eyes. If a thing is logical, it can be created. That such a wondrous weapon should exist. It surpasses my wildest imaginings, and they were wild indeed. But I gather not everyone shares my excitement. What's the matter, Garland? Lost your nerve? Quiet, Nero. We adults are thinking. But mayhap now is not the time. She said she was ready to continue, and so am I. Let's deal with Halicarnassus. Delta Escape V3. This will probably be the last thing we do before I go to bed for the evening. Assuming this queue doesn't take longer than 14 minutes. Delta Escape V3. No special gravity gimmick this time. No special stuff. Alright, alright. Seems a bit over-designed to me, but that's fine. Yes, we were going to go to, we were in Othard, we were doing this, 40 years and counting. Oh, right, I can't teleport in here. Makes sense, we're in an interdimensional rift. It would be kind of hard to teleport in an interdimensional rift. Othard, Dawn Throne, yep. "10-minute queue time this time." It's actually saying longer. Maybe I'll just... it's tricky to say. We'll let it go to 10 minutes. If it takes any longer than that, we'll just call it early. I'll just work on these quests in the meantime. Alright. That would be the only thing that I have yet to do, I think. Because that blue quest over there wasn't an ether current quest. And I didn't see one up there. So yeah, this must be the only one left. Unless there's a collection item here that I was just too far away to see. Nope. I'm assuming it shows you it can search the entire map for one, and if it doesn't find one, that's how it brings that message up. I'd assume that it has the range of the whole map, even for massive maps like this. Okay. Freebird, Asm Step. Now we can clear out the map. Yeah, that's the only blue quest that I don't immediately know what it does. An optional dungeon, mayhap? Alright. There's actually a fucking aetheryte over here that I don't know if I could access without flight. Because I haven't been in those caves, so it's entirely possible I could have. Yeah, there was probably a way to get up here from those caves. Which is fine. We'll just go ahead and attune. This seems abandoned. Alright, what's next? I don't want to do Ruby C. That says lots of water. Yeah, and she is not better, but... She was the one I was trying to do last time, and couldn't find the one Aethernet, or Aether Current. Oh, fine, we'll do Ruby C. collection. $39 yalms to the north. Did that say northeast or northwest? Northeast. And it should be like right here-ish? Oh, it's up there somewhere. It's kind of hard to gauge because I don't know exactly what it... Like, I know a malm is a usual measurement of distance, but I don't know what the fuck kind of a distance it's trying to be. Oh, hello. No wonder I didn't find you before. Probably could have found you with a noise, but, well. Any others? Nope. And there is a lot of blue quests. Okay. I think I am going to make the call. I think I will withdraw from this queue and call it for a night. Mainly due to the fact that it is 11 o'clock and I do have work tomorrow. But, we did finish up Heavensward Hildibrand, and we did do the first 2 missions of Omega. If it's anything like Alexander, it'll probably take a full stream and a half or so to finish it up. Then obviously we have the Alliance raids, and then we can start Shadowbringers. And I'm really excited to start Shadowbringers. But anyway, thanks everybody so much for watching, if you still are. I will be back, hopefully tomorrow, with a little small stream of Rhino Remake. And then, obviously, if I'm not back tomorrow, if work fucks me or something, I should be back Thursday for more of this, where we will hopefully finish, not finish Omega, but, you know, make some decent progress. I doubt we're finishing Omega next stream, but we'll see. Anyway, if you enjoyed and want to catch more streams, the easiest way to do so is to hit the buttons on your respective platforms, whether that's the follow button on Twitch, the subscribe, the bell, and the like on YouTube. Join the Discord for notifications for when I go live, whether it be me or the group that plays Pathfinder. But regardless, I hope everybody enjoyed and have a good night. Bye-bye.